to say, when I heard that they were making a Daredevil for Netflix, I was like, that could be a very interesting idea. I did enjoy the movie despite the backlash of it, but hell, Netflix, you're fucking awesome. What's going on? Welcome to another edition of Gear Breaker Nation. I'm NarikChase, the Chase, and I'm coming at you with another review, and this time we're doing Marvel's Daredevil. Daredevil is a 2015 superhero action crime drama created by Drew Goddard and the First and Defenders crossover miniseries. Now I have to give it to this show. The acting was really good. I actually bought that these characters were just in this world where it's just grimy and it's dirty and people were just dying left and right. I mean, they had the characters down packed. The performances were really good. Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock completely kills. I enjoyed every minute of it. I like the fact that he was younger. I like the fact that it's like he's just starting out. I like the fact that he is vulnerable. I like the fact that he even has doubts. It just makes his character so much more human. I like the fact that it just didn't start off with the Daredevil persona, that he actually built up to it. Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, this dude completely owns that role. This man was just completely made for it. He killed. I loved all of his scenes. I like the fact that his character, he just had personality. The man actually was vulnerable. The man actually had quirks. The man actually, you know what I'm saying, had emotion. You can actually tell this man actually generally cares about this city. And despite what the bad things that he does, that he actually believes in his cause. I like that. I like the fact that he even had a romance that actually introduced him to his future wife, Vanessa. They just completely gave these two characters just believable, realistic, relatable lives. You actually can see the struggles that both of these people just had, these two adversaries had to just deal with. And I thought they were just freaking awesome. All the other characters were really good. I like the fact that they were all engaging. They all brought something to the table. I like Matt, I like Foggy, I like Karen. I like how they had that trio dynamic. It actually worked. It wasn't annoying. The characters actually just, everything that they did was for a purpose and to just bring the Kingpin down. I like the mysterious aspect of it too, that they didn't just outright say who the Kingpin was, which I thought was freaking awesome. The dramatic elements were really good. The emotional elements were really good. The action was really good. They completely went all out. Now I will admit, while watching this, I did kind of think of Arrow a little bit, because it kind of has that gritty, you know, bad side of town look to it like Arrow does, but it is its own thing. And it's pretty awesome. As I said earlier, he is vulnerable in this series. He gets his ass kicked a lot. Even if he's beating people up, they're actually just, you know, he's actually struggling with like normal henchmen, which I thought was freaking awesome. I also like the use of his powers. They did a really good job with it. They didn't do the overall CGI aspect of it, but it was great use of camera work. It was the great use of sound effects to actually emphasize his abilities. That was really good. They definitely deserves a thumbs up for me. I love that aspect of it. When they actually did show him using it with visual effects, it actually looked really cool. It kind of reminded me of The Matrix a little bit. You know that part where Neo got his eyes burned out and he seen Smith and he was like this like fiery apparition. It kind of looked like that a little bit, but it was like really awesome. So like all 13 episodes had me glued to it. I did see a lot of characters from the Daredevil series. Like I did see a lot of characters from the Daredevil series, and I do like their interactions in it, but I kind of wish they would have had more. I'm glad that they didn't just sit there and just throw out the supervillain aspect of it, even though they do mention those elements. And it's kind of confusing a little bit, because like for the whole movie I'm watching, I'm like, does this tie into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Because they do make references to it in little, you know, in dialogue here and there. And so I'm like, when they're talking, I'm like, okay, does this take place like right after their Avengers? And you know, it opens up another question of like, how does it fit into the Marvel Cinematic Universe? and how will it fit into the Age of Ultron, or does it fit into the, you know, the Marvel Civil War, the Avengers Civil War story arc that they coming out in a few years. Anyways, this was a really good series. I was glued. It had me just stuck to my seat watching it. I was invested in it. I actually cared about the characters. I liked the incarnations of it. I liked the whole underworld aspect of it. I liked the fact that it was gritty. People died. You know, there was emotional loss, there was emotional trauma, there was emotional tones, and it just made this story that much more engaging. You feel for the characters, you laugh with the characters, when they get hurt, you're there with them. I like the relationship that, you know, Cox has with Dawson, because Dawson was in the film, in this series, and she was freaking awesome. I kind of wish she would have had a little bit more screen time, but for the time that she was there, she was really good. I really enjoyed her. I really enjoyed the chemistry that these two characters had. And Ben Urich, this guy was like awesome. He was like this investigative reporter, and I actually thought I wouldn't care about this guy, but I actually cared about this guy. He had personality, he had a cause, and he was like one of the main characters that I actually I fell in love with this guy watching this. He definitely made. If there's 3 characters in this series that actually just put me there, it was Matt Murdock, it was Wilson Fisk, and it was Ben Urich. Those 3 characters completely made the series. They killed. I enjoyed the acting, I enjoyed the dialogue, I enjoyed the action. There's so much that Marvel has done a really good job. I'm always been the one to sit there and say Marvel needs to catch up with DC when it comes to television shows, the live action ones. And they completely did it. Just one time, they actually did it. I am proud of them. I'm proud of Netflix. Netflix, you deserve a thumbs up. In fact, you deserve 2 thumbs up. This was a really good series. I highly recommend it for anybody that loves Daredevil, who loves superhero films, who loves Marvel, who loves DC, who loves just any kind of crime drama. It isn't overly superhero. It's like very grounded, very realistic. Very little else I can say about this series. One thing about the series, one tidbit I did have about the ending. The ending was really epic. It was actually my favorite episode, and it shows these 2 characters become who we want them to become, who we know that they're going to become. But I kind of wish that I wish the ending. I wish it didn't end the way it did. I wish it had left it with a little bit more openness to it. When I do a spoiler review on it, I'll get into more detail about that. But I highly recommend this. It has terrific acting. Cox kills as Murdock, as Daredevil. D'Onofrio completely kills as Wilson Fisk. All the other characters were completely badass. The action was complete badass. The romances, the relationships, the crime, the drama, everything about this series works. I even liked his suit. His suit actually looked pretty cool when he finally donned the suit. I had a little tidbit about the mask, but that's just me personally. I just have to say that Marvel's Daredevil definitely deserves a 5 out of 5. In the comment section below, guys, please let me know. Have you watched the series? What do you think about it? And have you watched the original movie with Ben Affleck? And tell me, which one do you think is better? Not just for the performances or the way it looks and anything, but just break it down to me and just let me know what specifically that you like about it and what are the differences. Because I know I'm going to do a video on, you know, what I liked about both of them, what I didn't like about both of them. I'm going to compare them, and I just want to see what you guys think about that first. So, into the next edition of GearBreakerNation.com, keep those gears turning, buddies.